Jeffrey Lapers is the CFO of the nonprofit organization Please Touch Museum in Philadelphia's Fairmount Park. He has a BS and MBA in finance from Lehigh University and has been working as a CFO for 7 different companies in the last 15 years. He was working for a nonprofit school for children with autism when he was approached for this position at the Children's Museum, as they were coming out of Chapter 11 and making many financial changes. Making sure you have a clear understanding of restricted revenue, keeping track of all incoming donations, grants, program funds, and tracking expenditures, comparing the two to make sure all records line up, and releasing revenue from restricted to unrestricted. Most of Lapers' career was spent in the for-profit world, and he treats both the same way. Spend money where you need to spend money and where you think it will return. This organization has millions of dollars of assets in the books accounted for in a meticulous Excel spreadsheet. The accounting manager assures the fixed asset system is compliant with any requirements. During audits, reports shift from Excel spreadsheet to capital asset tracking system. First, focus on what we expect revenue targets to be, what we need to do to drive revenue, what standing expenses are. This is key to running and maintaining the museum and makes up 50% of expenses. Understanding this baseline helps establish what is left for other expenses, like running facility, which is well over $1 million a year, and taking care of fixed expenses. You need to look at things more varying in nature, like PR, education programs, and advertising. It really comes down to what you need to drive revenue. Monthly expenses are sent out to department heads, so they know what they're spending in relation to the budget. If you're making to revenue target, then you can spend to expense budget. Contracts and supplies are key in the museum's budget. Spending adjustments and allotments are revised quarterly. Idle funds are invested in 2 accounts. One is the money marketing account, and the other is the endowment account, which is 60% in equities, 30% in departments, and 10% in cash. Budgets are made at the beginning of each year with balance sheets. Cash is the most important thing in any organization to pay bills. Lapers evaluates cash on a weekly basis. Forecasts are made on a monthly basis as part of the month-end review, and forecast cash flow is presented in the balance sheets. Procurement proposals must meet contract specifications in excess of $100,000 annually, as the museum has many outside contractors. The Board of Directors reviews significant purchases in advance. There is no formal delegation. Lapers makes recommendations, and with strong, sound reasoning, he has the board's support. When Lapers began, the museum was just coming out of Chapter 11, and $60 million of debt in the books went down to zero. In past CFO positions, lines of credit, AR lines of credits, closing the books in a timely manner, good relationship, and open lines of communication help. Because the museum is a 150,000 square foot building that's 140 years old, owned by the city but the museum is responsible for, allocated funds are used for third-party experts to come in and do a complete analysis of the building and lay out what they believe a 5-year capital improvements to be.